Well, this is a fun surprise. James Gunn just casually dropped our first full look at Superman 2025, no longer Legacy. He changed the title. And it kind of caught me off guard. I was just going about my day, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a picture of Superman in his full costume. So obviously, I have to make a video on this. You know me, I love Superman now. I've been converted to a full-time Superman enjoyer, and I have many thoughts on this. So here we go. Quick video today, unscripted. Just run through everything I have to say because, my God, this suit is gorgeous. I love what they did with it. I wasn't expecting to look like this. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's kind of like when I saw the first look at Robert Pattinson as the Batman. I didn't expect his suit to look like that at all, but the more I look at it, the more I love it and appreciate it. I wasn't expecting it to be so heavily influenced by the New 52. I'll show a picture of the New 52 now, but you can see just how similar these two designs are, which really surprised me. I thought Gunn would be someone who'd want to give that more traditional Superman look, and I personally have never been the biggest fan of the New 52 suit. I don't think it's the best Superman design ever to draw from. That being said, he managed to pull it off because I think this right here looks phenomenal. I am not someone who likes Superman with the collar. I think that collar looks goofy most of the time, but seeing here on Corenswet, I like it a lot. I think that it's a shorter collar, which helps a lot. It's not drawing too much attention away from anything, and I think it works for this design. There's also room to grow if they ever want to take away the collar, but personally, I think it looks good. I'm a big fan of it, honestly. I didn't think I would be at all. He managed to make it work. David Corenswet looks incredible as Superman. This might be sacrilegious to say, but I've seen enough. I think he is the perfect choice to be Superman. He looks incredible in the role. It just seems so fitting for him to be in that blue and red spandex. I am loving how he looks here, and that they finally gave him the curl, because it's been so long since we've actually seen Superman with that silly little curl in the front of his hair. And my God, look at that curl. It is on point right there. He just looks like if you took Superman off the page, it would be David. And I'm really glad that this didn't disappoint. He's been bulking up like crazy for the role. This picture also dropped today, and good lord, this man is built like a fridge in the best possible way. He is insanely tall. This man is 6'4", and he looks like that. He's gonna be towering over everyone, which I think is what you want for a Superman. You want him to be this larger than life figure, and Corenswet is gonna give us just that, so I'm really excited to see more of him there. But of course, the big takeaway from this all, if I zoom in on his crotch over here, and don't ask why I was zooming in on his crotch, he has the trunks. This is the only thing on my wish list. As long as this suit had the trunks, I'd be happy, and I'm so glad to report that they finally gave Superman the trunks again in live action. They've always been kind of scared to do it. They did it in Superman and Lois on the CW for a little bit, but it never is a full, proper Superman suit, and I'm just so happy to see those trunks back, because in my honest opinion, you can't have a Superman costume without the trunks. It'll always look incomplete for a wide variety of reasons. The main one is that from a design standpoint, the trunks help break up the blue on the suit. Always looks a little weird when there's too much blue on the costume, and I think that having the trunks there balances it out with that red, and it adds a lot to it from an aesthetic viewpoint, and it's really important to have them there. And then even from a thematic standpoint, a lot of people think the trunks look silly and they look goofy in live action, and that's the point. Trunks are always going to be goofy, but for his character like Superman, who's someone who's helping children and trying to be a symbol of hope and an icon, he's going to wear those trunks to have that comforting look to him, and I think that's really significant and a great part of the character, because without the trunks, he can look a little too alien at times with his costumes, and you want him to be this grounded figure, and the easiest way to ground him is to put him in the trunks. So I'm really happy to see that they did it here and that they didn't back away from that. We are long overdue for seeing Superman wear the trunks again in live action, and they did not disappoint. I love how they look here. I wish we could have gotten to see them in full. Hopefully over the coming weeks we get to see a better look at the costume and we get to see those glorious trunks. I love how they included the belt as well. I think the belt with the trunks combo is the perfect way to go about this, because the belt helps balance things out as well, and it adds more variety to the costume, and it's a really good look in my opinion. And also, I love how vibrant the colors are. My biggest critique on Henry Cavill's Man of Steel suit is that the colors were too muted and they never really found the right balance throughout his time in the DCEU. So I'm glad to hear right off the bat we're getting to see Superman in these bright red and blue colors again. The yellow really pops, even though they went with the battle damage design, which I wish they didn't. I wish we could have just seen this suit looking clean. Regardless of how it looks, we can still tell just how much that yellow is going to pop, and I think it's going to look great in action. I love the way the boots are too. They're not way too over designed to the point where there's too many lines or panels or anything. I like the little indent there at the top. I think they look gorgeous, and they really contrast against the blue pants there. And to look at that Kingdom Come logo, I've always been a big fan of the Kingdom Come crest. I think that, in my opinion, it is the best design for Superman, because it balances that alien aspect of the character with the earthly S, and I'm really glad to see it in this movie. They released that picture a few weeks ago. I'll show it here of the crest up close. I like the design a lot. I think the texture is good. I'm just a big fan of how they did the yellow version of the Kingdom Come logo, because I like that logo a lot, but the black is very thematic for that story, so I think including the yellow Kingdom Come logo off the bat is a really good idea and goes a long way to make the Superman stand out amongst others, and I'm really happy with that choice. I love the yellow outline on it too. It takes a lot of inspiration from the Fletcher Superman, and I think it's great to kind of bring all those different Superman logos together there, where you have the classic color scheme, the Fletcher S from that early era of Superman, and the Kingdom Come logo logo to create something new while also honoring the legacy of the character. If I had to have one nitpick about the suit, I would say I'm not the biggest fan of all the lines on the shoulders like that. I don't see the purpose of them. They just kind of feel like they're there for the sake of it. I'm always kind of picky about an over design with the lines on costumes. Sometimes it's done well. Here, I don't hate it. It doesn't like detract away from the suit at all. I just think it could look even better if they simplified it and took them away. But I'll have to see it in motion. This is just a interesting angle, to say the least, to reveal the costume, where you can see all the creases and the lines on display like that. But it's not make or break for me. I don't hate the costume. A lot of people hate it. Personally, I love it. I think this is a gorgeous design for Superman. It's something new and unique, which I think is what you need when you're adapting a character like Superman who has such a rich history. You want to have something that's never been done before. And Gunn is accomplishing just that, which I think is a really creative decision. And it might be a risk to do something new like this, but I think it's paying off really well, because this is going to be the de facto version of Superman for a lot of kids growing up in this generation, and it's a great way to do something new that we haven't seen before, while still, again, honoring the past, because you have this crest that's taking a bunch of different eras of Superman, while you also have the New 52 suit, and you're taking all these different aspects to make something that hasn't been done before, and I really like that a lot. And a few lines aren't going to ruin that for me. That doesn't take away anything from this costume. I still think it's gorgeous. But now it's time to get into conspiracy theories, because if you look at this image side by side, and you can see here the crest in this picture and contrast that with the crest in the picture that was released a few weeks ago, does that look the same to anyone else? Because I feel like the yellow lines here look a little bit thicker, so I'm wondering, is he gonna have two suits in this movie? Is this like the suit he starts out with, or are things gonna get changed up? Because maybe it's just me overthinking things. I am analyzing a single picture and looking at them from two different angles with different lighting and all that, but I feel like it's a little different, to the point where maybe he's getting two different costumes in this movie, and maybe here this is what he looks like at the beginning, then we're gonna get that full costume without the lines and without the collar and like a more traditional Superman look by the end, which I think could be a really interesting idea. Or, potential spoilers ahead, there's been a lot of rumors that Lex Luthor is going to create a Superman clone in this movie. And maybe James Gunn is doing something pretty sneaky. And this picture here is actually that Superman clone that Lex makes. And that's our first exposure, is we're looking at the clone, which would be a bold move. And maybe that's why he looks so different, because this is Lex's version of Superman, which could be a really interesting take. Would be a big surprise if he did. I don't know. I'm insane. I don't know what I'm doing here. But that's just my theory. I think it would be a really bold move to do that. And I don't know how well it would pay off, but I think it's fun for marketing. So who knows? Also, can we just take a look at what the hell is happening in the background over there? I was so distracted by the suit. There's just like this giant multicolor solar flare happening in the background. And it's like, also, Superman, do you see that behind you, dude? Stop putting your boots on. Go help them. Is this a universe that's dying? Is this like a Brainiac invasion? Is this just a regular Thursday for Superman? I have no clue, which is very exciting, because there's a whole world of potential for what that could be. Because James Gunn also said on his Instagram, this picture here is completely in camera. So whatever that effect is, that is on set like that, which I think is really cool how practical they're doing this. And I think it should be the standard for these comic book movies. And it just has me theorizing like crazy. So I'm sure we'll see so many different possibilities for what it could be. I'm really interested to find out what it is, because a universe getting destroyed in the background like that is insane to just casually drop on us, especially with that like purple green color scheme. That really screams Lex Luthor to me. So maybe Luthor's trying to destroy the city. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. I'm just very excited to see this version of Superman. I've been yearning to see a new Superman movie for years, and hopefully this one does the character justice, and we get that hopeful, optimistic Superman that has been long overdue in the public eye, and they can kind of undo the damage that the previous adaptations did. And I'm really hopeful that James Gunn can do what he's best at and make him the star that he should be. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about this first look at Superman. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What would you change? I'm interested to hear what everybody has to say, because this is a really exciting time to be a DC fan. James Gunn has never let me down before when it comes to a comic book movie, so I'm really excited to see this new DCU, and hopefully it does the universe justice, and we get a faithful adaptation of some of the best comic book characters out there. I cannot wait to see what happens, and next year can't come soon enough. Hopefully there's a lot more to talk about in the coming future, but until then, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, or otherwise I'm going to become an evil Superman and laser you right in half, alright? Don't make me do this.